All right, thank you for staying with Daybreak. Let's see some of your feedback on this conversation we're having on the Kenya-Tanzania trade deals. We have Engineer Lazaro who says Kenya and TZ should now forge ahead with the newfound good relationship to strengthen cross-border trade. Occasional incursion by TZ forces in Lake Victoria should now end. Okay. Kibwana Ali says the region is endowed and we can surely complement each other instead of competing. There's so much opportunities in cooperation rather than cold wars as witnessed due to historical indifferences. Okay. Jacob Abere says body languages and tones at State House door spoke positive outcome on bilateral relationship. Kenya's deficit on export is going to go back to 100%, having fallen by 30%. Kudos Dar and Nairobi commitments. All right. And on that note, there's a Kenya-Tanzania business forum happening at the Serena Hotel, and Phyllis Wakiaga is one of the dignitaries expected there. So I'll start with you for your closing remarks and then release you to go and have a conversation with President Suluhu. Hopefully you come back and tell us what you guys have discussed.
Yeah, we have quite a number of us there. Yes, so for me, my closing remarks is really just to echo what the people who have given comments have said, that there are opportunities, there are mutual interests that we can capitalize on, and at the end of the day, it will only be to the benefit of both our nations and the East African community at large.
Okay.
And as that leads to a benefit, it should trickle down to our people in terms of opportunities, jobs, fully exploited resources, and other things.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to the conversation. We would love to hear the feedback from the session they had, where they say they've addressed and come up with a way forward in terms of some of the impediments. And then, we take this forward and take our two countries to the next level.
Okay, we'll follow this up again on Wednesday, so we'll be taking notes while you're there.
Yes,
Mike?
I'll take notes.
Thank you. Trevor, I think I'll paraphrase what President Suluhu said immediately after being sworn in. I think she said something like, hatuwezi jitenga kama kisiwa. We cannot be on an island on our own. We need to get together. We need to grow economically. We need to grow socially. And from a tourism perspective, we've proved it by getting together with Kenya, Uganda, and Rwanda. The movement by ID did not only open up tourism opportunities, but it opened up trade opportunities along the three borders. That's Busia and the one in Uganda, between Uganda and Rwanda, and to some extent Gisenyi between Uganda and DR Congo. It took you. When we signed that deal, about 2 weeks after we had launched it in London at the World Travel Market, Nigeria and Ghana signed a similar deal, and they are not even geographically next to each other. So we've proven it, that it can work if you go as an economic bloc, and that would be my parting shot. Let's harness this relationship, and let's make East Africa a great economic powerhouse.
Yes, yeah.
The original, all of the three originals, they really bound together. And there have been issues in the past, either diplomatic, political, or economic. But we can't escape from the reality.
I apologize, we have a bit of a challenge with your microphone, so we'll have to fix it. But now I'll have to leave it at that point. Phyllis Wakiaga, Kenya Association of Manufacturers CEO, Mike Macharia, CEO, KAHC, and board member, East African Tourism Board, and John Gashie, Foreign Affairs Analyst. Thank you so much for making time this morning. Let's cross over to the Serena Hotel, where Dennis Otieno is standing by. There's a Kenya-Tanzania Business Forum happening right now. Dennis, over to you.
Good morning once again, Trevor. Now, any moment from now, this particular function will be beginning officially. We're just being given signs by the organizers here that the key delegates and also representatives are still streaming in. And any moment from now, basically the program is supposed to start at around 9 a.m., but the key representatives are still streaming in. Now, as we wait for this forum to start formally, I do have here by my side the Chief Administrative Secretary for Industrialization, Trade and Enterprise, Honorable David Osiani, just to give us, his take on this particular forum and what he expects going forward, especially now that we do have the business representatives from these two nations meeting. Osiani, thank you so much for joining us for this brief interview. What are your expectations, especially looking at this particular forum, business forum, knowing very well the sort of relations that Kenya and Tanzania have actually had in the past?
Thank you very much, Dennis. I think this marks a very nice and new beginning for us. I mean, we have had a fairly good relationship with Tanzania, but this takes it a notch higher. The visit of President Suluhu, the agreeing to meeting of business persons or individuals, the chambers of commerce, industrialists, is a very key thing for us at the Ministry of Industrialization, Trade and Enterprise Development, because we'd like to expand on our multilateral trade. How do we have our exports doing better? There is the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, which is ongoing at the moment. Are we able to utilize that opportunity for trade for both countries, and seek opportunities for growing each other's economy? Yeah.
The key thing that has been coming out in the past, especially when you talk to the private sector players, has been the barriers that have been, when it comes to trading, especially cross-border trading, and this has actually been highlighted so much. Do you think there'll be a solution, in this particular forum to, that and many other issues that have actually been happening?
Yeah, the solution to any problem starts at agreeing that there might be a problem and then deliberately forging a way forward. I think the President, Uhuru Kenyatta, President Salma Suluhu, have deliberately decided to forge a more useful and more perfect union for both countries going forward, which will resolve any outstanding issues, make business much easier in terms of service and even goods, make it easier to cross border and do your business without worrying about the possibility of any encumbrances. So I am particularly glad this step is probably the hugest step we've taken in terms of multilateral trade and seeking business opportunities. The KEPROBA, the Kenya Export Promotion and Branding Agency, is here to see what are the rules and policies that we are able to firm up to make business easier. Various reputable businessmen in Kenya and in Tanzania are here, the leading industrialists and business people. The chambers of commerce are all involved and intertwined, because I think once we sit and agree on a pathway forward, led by the two leaders of the countries, nothing should be too hard. And so we want to thank President Salma Suluhu for accepting to visit our good country, Kenya, and for agreeing to have this session today to forge a way forward on enhancing trade and exports for our country.
So the last time we had, a head of state from Tanzania visiting the country, it's almost been 5 years, and ever